Okay, hi everybody. Happy Friday. So, gathering together for our inquiry time. Good to see you. Just being with the intention, support, just the energy of awareness, all the awareness that's possible in every moment with inquiry, seeing what the mind is talking about, seeing how we're feeling, welcoming it all in, letting it be here. Just for a moment, not resisting what is. So a quote from Katie in Loving What Is. She says this: all I know is that if it hurts, investigate. Enlightenment is just a spiritual concept, just one more thing to seek in a future that never comes. Even the highest truth is just one more concept. For me, the experience is everything. And that's what inquiry reveals. Everything painful is undone now, now, now. If you think you're enlightened, you'll love having your car towed away. That's it. How do you react when your child is sick? How do you react when your husband or wife wants a divorce? I don't know about people collectively waking up. Are you suffering now? That's my interest. People talk about self-realization, and this is it. Can you just breathe in and out happily? Who cares about enlightenment when you're happy right now? Just enlighten yourself to this moment. Can you just do that? And then eventually it all collapses. The mind merges with the heart and comes to see that it's not separate. It finds a home and it rests in itself as itself. Until the story is met with understanding, there is no peace. So I love that's what we're doing here. Looking at the stories, looking at the perceptions, the way we're viewing the world or any given situation and seeing, oh, okay, if it's not peaceful, okay, that's where to start. Yeah, funny, step one, going into what hurts. And notice how safe it is to look at what hurts. It's just images, memories, worries about the future, feelings in the body. Might not feel so safe, might feel really uncomfortable. And I want to explore. Don't we want to explore something so curious or feeling so full of wanting to understand how to work with this? So I like thinking as step one is just letting it come. All the anger, resentment, heartbreak, sadness. Reviewing with stress, the way that conversation went that you didn't like, that thing that happened. So simply starting there, noticing, notice what wants to come for inquiry in this moment now. What bothers you? What's annoying? What feels heartbreaking? So noticing that situation, being with that situation. Sometimes these situations are hard not to notice. Right? Make us wake up at night. So as you let that, just as you're seeing that situation come in, like maybe there's a person who's really bothering you or something that's happened that feels really disturbing. Or you're anticipating how something's going to go. You feel nervous. Just let the feeling first come in and talk to you. I'm upset in the situation. I'm troubled because. Just notice that very simple sentence that appears, a concept. If it could speak without editing, okay that it's childish, okay that that emotion is the one speaking. In fact, good. I'm upset because. And that's like the first invitation, on the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. We fill out a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. Putting sentences and words to what this disturbance is talking about. Here's what's upsetting to me. Really listening to that. It's okay if it feels like a 5-year-old is the one talking. Just hold it openly without judgment. Or even if the judgment's there, just let it be over there. I'm upset because. So who wants to share? And I love these Zoom times because you can actually share in the chat. Like you don't have to say it out loud. Something kind of sweet about that. You can do that. And you can also just raise your hand or come off mute and share your concept. Something about putting it out into the, yeah, this is what I think. This is what came through my mind. This is my situation. Something about making it exposed feels scary, but can be a relief. And if you feel like you've got the situation and you want to do the work, great. You can plunge in at any moment. It can be you. That's what we do here. Somebody starts it and we go from there. And I love Matt's sharing, my marriage is over. Yeah. Just noticing everything that's around that. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, Karen and Sarah Ann.
Hi.
Hello.
Um, I actually wrote the thought, I'm scared that something will go wrong in my labor, in my 9th month of pregnancy, and
Oh,
I'm getting ready to give birth to my first child. So that's the thought
oh,
that came through my mind.
that is such a good one. You want to do the work?
I'm open to
Okay.
it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Okay. So this is such a big thing, doing the work on something that isn't actually happening. Like you see that it's not happening. You're just really worried that it could happen.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody find where you think something is coming that you feel nervous about. It could go wrong. I mean, what a common thought. And I do want to acknowledge Lee's saying, thought here, I ruined my weight loss by overeating compulsively again. Yeah. And you know how you can take that in this one. There, I did it. I did it again. I think it might even happen again. I start to think in the future, wow, this could happen again. I see the pattern. So you can hold that. Just looking at your pictures of the future. And so Sarah Ann, what I love about this one is, you have to have heard stories about this going wrong out there in the world. It has to be
Oh, yeah.
in your mind for this to be in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you feel that in your system, in your body, in your nervous system, and like just what does that feel like? Yeah, I'm worried it'll go wrong.
In my chest, sort of feel this tightness.
Okay. All right. Just letting that feeling be present. I'm worried. I'm worried about what will happen. I'm worried it'll go wrong. And what else does that feeling look like or feel like? If it had a texture or a temperature.
I could say cold and heavy.
And does it feel like it's in the front of your chest or right in the middle of it somewhere or kind of towards the back?
It's sort of like a triangle, sort of like across here and sort of down into the top of my stomach.
Hmm. Okay. Good. It's just like getting to know this feeling or saying it's okay that it's there, even if it's uncomfortable. Just allowing it to be what it is. Okay, so letting it be there, allowing it to be there. Let's see what happens. So when you think the thought, this could go wrong, what happens? This feeling happens, but what else? How do you react to that thought?
Yeah, I feel pretty ungrounded. I'm aware of these future images that are playing, like imagining worst case scenarios, like my baby dying, or and then that brings grief that comes with it. So that's like a whole other layer.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I see myself in this place I've never been in, and just not knowing how to get through it, and um, imagine what will happen if I can't get through it.
Mhm. Isn't that good to see? It's how I treat myself. I might not be able to do this. I can't get through it. Now, do you mean just the experience of having a baby or just like this wrong thing happening?
It's like actually being able to move the baby from my womb out of my body. Like
Mhm.
I just imagine that for some reason the baby gets stuck and I can't do
Mm.
anything about it, and that could jeopardize the life of the baby, or me, I guess, but more it's about the baby.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so powerful to notice that coming in. I can't do this. And I have to. I need to. Okay, and all those images, and they can get extreme when the thing hasn't even happened and it's just open imagination.
Mhm.
Death. Death is death could happen, and everything in between. Wrong. I like noticing how there's that energy you described, that triangle all through the chest, and kind of a bracing against. Something could go wrong. This could go wrong. Okay. So, who would you be without the story? This could go wrong. It's okay if the thought even comes in, but we're just wondering, noticing nothing's wrong right now. Who would you be? Who are you without the thought? This could go wrong. Without believing the thought.
I feel more relaxed and open. This openness that I feel in my body. Mhm.
How does the
Yeah, like I said, it's my first time ever being pregnant, or
Mhm.
being 9 months pregnant for that matter. And I could just kind of in awe of what my body is doing, what it has been doing for 9 months now.
Mm, yeah.
Seem more curious, and yeah, relaxed, peaceful,
Mm,
enjoying the calm before the storm, so to speak, just resting. And
yeah. And just see how that sensation in that area of your chest, that triangle area, and just check in there and say, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And noticing nothing's wrong right now without the thought that that's true. Something could go wrong.
Yeah, it's a different shape. It's more round. It's like a round, open, relaxed feeling in my chest and belly
Hmm.
without the thought.
Okay. So let's turn it around.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love to the self, this one first. Something could go wrong in my thinking.
Hmm.
Like only in my thinking.
Right, because that's all that's happening is my
Yes.
thinking about this future event. It's not here. It's not happening. So
Yeah.
clearly just all my thinking.
Isn't that great? It's like pure proof. It's like, yeah, I can't find this wrong way that it's going is it doesn't even exist
Right.
except for in the mind.
Hmm.
That could be true no matter what happens.
Yeah, right. Like what you're saying in the beginning of your opening, like when your partner says they want a divorce, like if you,
Yes.
so
Yes.
whatever happens, if I could treat it as it's not going wrong, it's just what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sure, nobody, I remember being pregnant and wondering about that, especially first baby. And, that you have the images of whatever wrongness looks like. And of course, there's like, I don't want my child to die. I don't want my baby to die. I don't want to die in childbirth. I mean, very extreme, of course not. We're not saying, and however it goes, I mean, that is a huge thing. However it goes is not really I'm not really in charge of it. And there's I could trust, like just what you said, could I really hold that and be with, it would only be my thinking that would be the worst part of it. My thoughts about what was happening. I mean, everyone can think this for a moment. Like, have you ever had anything that really was bad that happened, something really difficult, and then realized you survived it, or there was something that became an advantage where it changed your life in some way for the better? If there was some sort of learning or awareness or insight that came from it. Even just that I survived it. Like here we are now, no matter what difficult thing has ever happened. Here we are. So it could be no matter what happens, you'd be able to survive it, work with it. Only your thoughts would be the most troubling part. So, just holding that a minute more, like here, this turnaround. Something could go wrong in my thinking.
Well, it's funny because you said something around like no matter what happens, it's not, I don't know how you said it's not in our control. And it really struck me because I'm like, oh no, it's my job to do a good birth. And like, I'm like, oh, that's the thinking. Like there's
Right.
some, yeah, just a lot of questionable, like, why do I think I'm in charge of this birth? And what the outcome? Like, very interesting just to meditate on that too.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a wonder. I love you use the word awe. It's like you're just watching the thing and you're not really doing it. I mean, this thing is happening. It's a happening. The whole entire pregnancy and everything that goes. And yeah, we know that they're usually 9 months long, and but it's just watching. You're kind of there as a witness to it. Life doing what it does, very mysterious, quite awe-filled.
Yeah, I'm just noticing how much relief I feel from that. Like, oh, it's not really up to me.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna happen, and I'm not in charge. I get to witness it all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
we never know. You don't know the hour you're going to go into labor. You don't know anything. You get a tendency based on other human beings, and all the experience of humanity, of course, and don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. You'll just be there doing the best you can. Yeah, letting go. I mean, so yeah, it is quite a relief. I'm not in charge of this. So that might be a nice, it's even an example there. My thinking might go wrong in believing that I was in charge of it, or something's my fault.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing with that turnaround. It's like, oh, there's a lot of
Yeah.
thinking going on that's not quite right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And simple opposite, it could go right.
Right. Yeah. Imagine that.
Now, this is a real opening into the work, that it could go right however it goes. I mean, that is really, I'm willing for it to go however it goes. Without I mean, of course there's and being a human being, I hope it's smooth. I hope it's easy. Hope it works out well, whatever. Don't want those images, do like these images. And just being able to touch that turnaround with however it goes will be right. And just opening to that, that sense of, I'm not the one really running this whole show. It's like however it goes is however it is meant to go. I'm not arguing with reality. It's okay. And I can hold that place in the middle. Just, it can be trusting. It doesn't have to brace against something. Just that restful place that you described as something of a relief. It could go right. It could go, it'll be right however it goes. And
Yeah, I mean, I noticed very peaceful, like it's a sense of surrender that I don't know that I operate with very often, but I can be like, wow, who would I be if I just sat in that world of like, whatever happens, it's perfect. Yeah.
It's amazing. You can find it, but when you're in the middle of it and it's like sort of seems, but this is this is happening. um, but I love that the courage to just kind of lean back behind the thinking and just notice what's here. Very precious, really.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel grateful to be able to touch into it.
Yeah, yeah. There's something incredibly powerful about letting go, just open hands, because we don't know. What's the reality? We'll see. But that can be a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah Ann.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Oh, yeah. It's exciting. What such an interesting place. We do know the thing's happening. Something's happening. So that is like sometimes there's thoughts about what's coming and it's just a total nightmare, and it's not even going on. Somebody's going to break into my house. It's
Mhm.
just images that are frightening, and there's it's coming out of something very, very old or just projected moments, and that's an interesting place with this work too. Even to say, I welcome that. I could be okay even though that happens. And but when you really know, like you're about, this is
Yeah.
that something's underway, and so we're likely to go into labor here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to happen, but that it'll be okay. So this thing is happening; it's inevitable. Just that this baby will be coming out.
Mhm.
Birth will happen, and
Mhm.
still to trust and surrender. Just find that place where you're not the doer of it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thanks for bringing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hmm. So thoughts, who followed that? Anyone want to share? I love Matt sharing. I have my popcorn out and I'm ready for the show. I fear my marriage is over. We're doing a trial separation and both liking it so far, 3 days. But I equally fear my marriage is not over. I don't know how it will turn out. Either outcome could be great. That's amazing, Matt. Yeah. And even that, even though there's, relating and my part, and I'm not in charge, even with that, how we are with other people, what somebody else is deciding, even someone not even in charge of what comes out of our own mouth in a conversation. You didn't plan it, it just came out that way, right? So yeah, that's great to find that. There's a lot of peace in that. Whatever outcome, whatever is like for the greatest good, for the most peace, for whatever needs to happen here, for what I'm willing. I'm willing. Anyone else? Do you follow along with your own situation like Matt did? Okay. So who else? Time for another. Anyone notice their thought when we began, or maybe a new one has appeared that feels like, oh yeah, that's stressful. That's a thing. And anyone who want to either just share your thought or actually you can dive into the work. Yeah, Dana.
Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. First, I just want to say that was so helpful because my thought is I'm so afraid to leave this marriage that I'm in, and I've been thinking about it for years, and I'm so afraid of hurting her, and um, I feel like a bomb's gonna go off. So, and it'll all be my fault, and she has Parkinson's and all this whole like bleh. So I'm sort of paralyzed. So
Mm-hmm.
listening to you, Sarah Ann, with this whole thing, it sort of is very similar in this way of I can't control all those things. It's like giving birth or this, it feels I didn't realize how similar it felt, but I could really identify with that I am terrified of
Mm-hmm.
this, and um, and it would be like that, like having a baby, and you don't
Mm.
know what's going to happen. I can't predict what's going to happen, but I feel so terrified by it, and
Uh,
yeah.
what's the worst that could happen? Like you're saying you're seeing that a little bit when you just began to
Mm-hmm.
share. What's
Mm-hmm.
the worst that could happen here?
Uh, well, she could kill me.
Okay.
Really,
There you go. Yeah, it gets very
kill
catastrophic.
me.
Yeah, she could kill me. So
um,
she'd be
but it,
so angry. She'd be so
yeah,
angry that she'd kill you. Okay.
yeah, it's a toxic sort of relationship, so that's very upfront to me, that like she's a very angry person, so I'm so afraid of the anger,
Mm-hmm.
afraid of, yeah, it's just be mad at me, cut me off, never, it's kind of about not love,
Yeah.
for me.
Okay.
Hmm.
So this is such a powerful, I've loved doing the work on this one myself. If I basically say no or leave or, move in the direction that seems to be something that I'm drawn to, you know,
Yeah,
um, the other person will be so angry, I'll be in danger,
yeah,
or something terrible will happen. If I do that thing I'm drawn to, something terrible will happen with the other person.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So of course, with that much fear, we wouldn't do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or wouldn't see another way or a path move forward. It just feel like that kind of stuck spot. Okay. So really feeling that fearful space that feels so like just letting that be here and kind of respecting it in a way. Sometimes we'll judge, I shouldn't be such a scaredy cat, or I don't know, all the things that happen.
Hmm.
So just noticing that it's there. You know, if I say no, if I talk about this, if I speak what's true for me, the other person will get angry, furious. Is it true? And so let yourself also see images of when you might have proof, like notice the proof. No, this has happened. I have spoken up, or I have brought up something, or I have said no, and they did get angry.
Yes.
So you're going to look at those situations because they have to come into it. And see how old it is. How far back does that dynamic go? If I say what I think or bring it up, say no, they'll be furious.
Yeah, it's old. Very
Yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah. So there's that person just so furious. And I feel very threatened by how angry they are. Okay. So I love just like worst that could happen, they could kill me. That's how strong this is. Yeah. Okay, danger, danger. I'm not safe. So is it true they could kill me? Yes,
Yes.
if you're nodding yes, okay. Can you absolutely know that that's true? And just stay a moment. She could kill me.
It feels like uh, could, the word could,
Uh-huh.
seems true. If I say, if I change that word, do I know that it's true that she would?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know that that's true.
I like the looking there. Yeah. In other words, like, it's kind of infinite possibility. So maybe the could thing is like always yeah, it's true, it's true, it's true, it's true. Who knows?
I don't know.
Potential. Yeah, I don't know. And I love like really, one time I was doing the work on, there was a big car accident on the road that I was on, and I was going to pick up my 6-year-old oldest child. And so I was in full stop traffic, and I don't think I'd ever been late to pick him up before in his life, age 7. No cell phones, a long time ago, 20 years ago.
Mhm.
It's like, oh my God, oh my God. People coming, somebody kidnapping, him standing in the rain for half an hour after school, just all kinds of images coming. And then I was like, okay, the work. Can I really know it's true? Somebody's going to take him away. Something horrible is about to happen. I just was like, no, I don't know that. And it's also unlikely. It's so unlikely. I just really feel it like, I just don't think that's going to happen. Could it? Yes. Is it? No. Yeah. And noticing what happens when you think it. I mean, when you have those images coming, she'll be so angry. It's enough fury, you know, to kill me. You see those images.
Yeah. All those images, not just the killing, but just all the chaos. Um, I feel like I'm just trembling inside,
Oh,
and
yeah.
uh, yeah, yeah. To think that, when I just don't imagine the grenade going
Mhm.
into the whole conversation, and even skipping to the turnaround piece of it could go really well. And she'd go, yeah, me too. this is just not working, you know. If
Mhm.
I like everything lands, you know, or
Mhm.
but
I love it, you know, that even kind of enters into like, that's possible too,
yeah, yeah, that could
by the
happen.
way, you know. And this is important, I think, at least it was for me, how you treat yourself, how you see yourself. I am the one, when you're thinking the thought, I am the one who like is a victim of this situation, who has no other options,
Mm,
who's too small to make anything to work with this, who won't be able to handle it, who will be crushed by that, the one who hurt the person so badly. My fault. You know, it'll be on me. I mean, I just felt that. It was like my kid will think mom abandoned him, you know, mom's unreliable. You can't count on mothers. You know, the world isn't safe. I know when I hold it that way, it's just pulled in almost like close. There's no other option. Just the fear is like frozen experience. You don't think about the support from the world that's possible, the clarity about where you could get help, or, you know, we're supposed to just, the only options are, you know, shut down, freeze, run, fight, flight, or freeze.
right. Fawn.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I make this better?
yeah, yeah. All kind of anxious options. Yeah, and Ludo's sharing, I feel like this with my elder sister. I feel scared when I'm with her because of her moods and reactions. Yeah, we're walking on eggshells. So if you couldn't have the thought, I could be the cause of somebody else's anger, you know, they could kill me. And we're not in denial by asking this question. Who would you be without the story? Who would you be without the thought? Like, we're in the middle of this, you know, there's intensity here. It's okay. But if, can I know it? And you just see without the story, who would you be without the thought? She would kill me if I spoke up. It's like without the story, me speaking up would incite violence, would be unsafe for me.
Mhm.
Without that story.
Yeah, the thoughts that come to me are I'm free. I would be free. I would be um, courageous comes to my mind. I would be
Oh,
courageous and free and honest and yeah.
yeah. That's an amazing one to just feel for a moment. Like, isn't that a potential? Isn't there something here that doesn't have to do it all, you know, all alone, or just speaking up equals pure negativity, you know, or death,
Yeah.
death. And just to touch that with compassion, like whatever's been so terrified,
Yeah.
but it hasn't happened, you know, but that I've been killed.
Yeah. Still
Maybe
here.
I've killed myself, right? I've killed something in me
Yeah. Oof.
when I wanted to speak up. My thinking has killed. My thinking has killed my, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's all right. It's good news. It's a thought.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've done the killing before anyone else could.
Ah. Yeah.
Yeah. And turned around to the other, I've killed her. And it's okay if it's just internal in my mind or
Wow. Thank you.
yeah.
uh,
We've killed those people when they've spoken up because something has felt so, even just if it's just shutting them down, or
yeah. Uh, Actually, with so much resentment all these years,
Mhm.
that really rang when you said that, killing her, like shutting her down in my mind with all the resentment. So, yeah,
Yeah.
powerful.
It starts to be like, I've made a decision about who that person is and that's it. And I'm not, I'm just I'm just braced against,
Everything.
yeah, all of it around them and me. Yeah. And the opposite, amazing. She could cause me to live if I speak up. Just having a little bit of that openness. I know there's so difficult people, so long sometimes, but what if there's something about their presence in our lives that is an invitation? And it doesn't mean we have to live with them.
Mhm.
It could be an invitation to actually, be really authentic and kind of find that loving no,
Yeah.
or whatever needs to happen here. It's just to begin. Isn't that my heart's desire? I've felt like such a shy person and kind of holding back. So I totally get that quality
Mhm.
of, seems safe, and wasn't my heart's desire to actually speak what was true for me, or like a kind of feel more empowered about speaking and trust myself and trust other people to do whatever they need to do. And trust ourselves to get help we need. If we need help, don't have to do it alone. Yeah. Yeah.
Just this, thank you, is very helpful today.
Oh,
I've tried to do these turnarounds, and this was just really thanks for the handhold to come through this,
yeah.
because this was
Mhm.
thank you, a great invitation.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your courage to speak up. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Dana. Any takeaways anyone want to share? Did you follow? And I love Tanaz sharing. Wow, Dana, that's amazing. So sweet. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. Very powerful. Beautiful invitation for us all, living turnarounds about whatever's coming. Can I trust it? Can I trust there's something there that's holding us? I'm not alone. I'm not alone in what's about to happen. Wonderful living turnaround to feel. Thank you all so much. Yeah, great to be with you. As always, you can take yourself off mute to say goodbye, but have a fabulous day and weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Much
everyone.
love.
Thank you.